From the Hawk TV studios at Hillsborough Community College in historic Ybor City, this is Hawk TV News with anchor Sarah Agins, reporters Tom Strokio, Jessica Alexander, and director Ashley Cooley. And now, your college news.
Good evening, HCC. I'm Sarah Agins. Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, Tampa hosts a Republican National Convention. 50,000 people visited Tampa Bay to witness Republicans officially nominate their candidate for president. Events were held all over, including HCC's Ybor City campus. Hawk TV's Tom Strokio has more on the events and the protests surrounding the National Convention.
It's a typical Thursday night in Ybor City, except for the fact that the eyes of the world are pointed this way. That's because it's the last night of the Republican National Convention here in Tampa. So our Hawk TV news team went out on assignment to visit the RNC front lines. Evidence of the RNC is everywhere. There's an electricity in the air and many local people are happy about the event.
So how do you feel about the RNC coming to Tampa?
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for Tampa to be able to show what it possesses to give to different conventions, opportunities, and things of that nature. People to come in and be able to utilize what we have. So I think it's a great idea, and I appreciate it coming in.
And do you think it will help your business at all?
Oh, incredible. You're going to do 10 times the normal numbers we do in August, and a lot of additional catering that we don't normally do in August.
A lot of revenue. It's really great for the area, and we've prepared for it. We've stocked up.
But there are also some that are not so happy. You know the Republican National Convention is coming to town?
Yes.
How's it affecting you?
They won't let. They trying to lock us up and stuff, man.
They trying to lock you up?
Yeah, cause we homeless.
What they doing to you?
They say we got a tote bag to take us to jail, man. For what? I don't know. We ain't doing that.
So we took a Tico trolley to Channelside, where the Tampa Times Forum is holding the convention. The Republican Party's presidential nominee will be speaking here in just a few hours. At the entrance gate, we encountered Republican delegates walking in and protesters. Surprisingly, the protesters weren't denouncing Mitt Romney or the Republican Party. They were shouting anti-Obama chants. Due to heightened security and proper preparations led by Tampa's mayor, Bob Buckhorn, police say arrests were minimal, and city officials believe that Tampa just hosted one of the most successful and peaceful Republican National Conventions of all time. In Tampa, Tom Strokio, Hawk TV News.
And other news now, come spring, no more smoking at HCC. A new policy will prohibit the use of tobacco products on any of the college's 5 campuses. Once again, here's Hawk TV's Tom Strokio.
You may have noticed the new signs and banners around with this logo, representing a new policy soon to be implemented at HCC. Breathe Free HCC is a new initiative spearheaded by HCC's president, Dr. Atwater, that starts on January 1st of 2013, where all of the HCC campuses and areas are going completely tobacco-free.
And again, he was hearing from students, staff, and faculty that we needed to get a handle on the smoking problem.
It applies to everyone that's on our campus and everywhere on campus, such as outdoor spaces, plazas, courtyards, and parking lots.
It also applies to private vehicles on our property. Once a vehicle comes on our property, it becomes part of HCC property. So that's everyone, everywhere, all the time. And the products that are covered are not just the standards like cigarettes, pipes, tobaccos, but it also goes so far as to include chewing tobaccos and electronic cigarettes.
If someone is seen using one of the prohibited products in an HCC area, we are supposed to go up to them, hand them one of these business cards with the logo, reminding them that they are not complying with the new policy. And eventually, everyone will refrain from lighting up. How do you think the students are going to respond to the changes?
I think any type of change is going to be difficult for everyone, students, faculty, and staff. It's going to be a lifestyle change for some people. We're definitely understanding of that.
What do you think about the campus going tobacco-free on January 1st?
I think it's great because I'm in the dental assistant program and I care a lot about teeth, and tobacco is awful for your teeth. You gotta have a pretty smile.
I'm for it because I think it's in everybody's best interest if the campus remains smoke-free for health reasons, and I think it's just nice to have an overall rule for everybody to follow.
There's plenty of air and room for other people to walk around and be smoking. I don't see what the big deal is.
It's not going to stop people from smoking.
I actually like the idea because being tobacco free is obviously more healthy, and if it's actually forced, people might actually stop using it. So if they stop smoking and stop using tobacco, everyone becomes healthier.
HCC has taken a stand of being an advocate for health and wellness.
We know that often people become addicted to tobacco during their teenage years and college years, and setting the example of a tobacco-free environment is a way to help model that behavior.
There's a lot of resources available to our students and employees, and everything you need to know about Breathe Free HCC is located on the website hccfl.edu/tobacco-free.
Once adapting this new policy, HCC will be joining USF and the University of Florida as another completely tobacco-free Florida school. We hope that this first semester in which we communicate the policy will help people get prepared for the implementation date of January 1st. In Hillsborough County, Tom Strocchio, Hawk TV News.
According to the American Cancer Society, more than 400,000 people die from tobacco-related illnesses every year in the U.S. alone. The Work Opportunity Tax Credit Program is one federal program that encourages employers to hire ex-felons. Under the program, the government will offer up to $2,400 in federal tax credits for hiring ex-cons. HCC's mass communication students had the chance to be an award-winning journalist this semester. Hawk TV's Monica Johnson has that story.
20 students showed up at the Ybor Room at our Ybor campus to catch a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist speak. St. Pete Times writer Lane DeGregory came to HCC to talk to these students about how to write and come across a great story.
Putting yourself in the position of having a lot of friends in a lot of different walks of life, so that people come to you with story ideas or people they know of and things they've heard from all over your community. You know, you can't rely on your own contacts and your own adventures. You have to see the clubs that you join or organizations that you're part of or people that know you're a journalist, you're a storyteller, and then they sort of funnel them to you. You know, that's the easy way to get stories.
DeGregory prefers to write stories that involve people from the community. Her most important work was The Girl in the Window. It was this story that won her the Pulitzer Prize in 2009 for feature writing.
Probably in 25 years of my career has been the most emotional story. And I think one of the reasons it got the response that it did was because it had highs and lows. You know, you had so much hope and expectation and love for this child and this amazing family that took her in, but then you also had anger and frustration about how could a mother do that? How could the court system not put that woman in jail? How could this have happened in the first place? And so it was a very emotional ride reporting.
She comes to HCC with many success stories. Since 2000, DeGregory has appeared in the Best Newspaper Writing magazine 5 times. She also been a speaker at the Neiman Narrative Conference at Harvard.
My story. I've always wanted to be a journalist since I was 5 years old, and I grew up in Washington, D.C. during Watergate, and I just thought that would be the coolest profession in the world, to write about people that could bring down the President of the United States and sort of change the way everybody else saw the world. So everything in my life, career-wise and job-wise and work-wise, has always been something to do with journalism. I guess number one, I hope students get the idea of just the love for journalism and people, that you can have fun and do this job that's important, but it's also really reflective of the world around you. Journalism isn't all, politics and sports and unearthing, as I wanted to be as a little kid, unearthing wrongs and, righting wrongs. It's also just about helping people relate to their community. And I, with my stories as much as anything, I want people to see folks around them in a different way.
And it looks like most of the students did leave with a new drive for journalism, plus a whole new understanding of narrative writing and unearthing the concept of a story, as DeGregory says. In Tampa, Monica Johnson, Hawk TV News.
Lane DeGregory is currently a features writer at the Tampa Bay Times. Finally tonight, an unwelcome visitor terrorized a new Tampa neighborhood. We're talking about a 10-foot alligator. How would you like that showing up on your doorstep? Well, one did just that. And guess what? Tom Strokio has that story too.
Residents of this upscale New Tampa neighborhood encountered something they did not expect. And wait till you see where it ended up. On a normal, quiet Saturday afternoon, neighbors were astonished at what they saw walking down their street and settled near someone's front door.
I live across the street and I texted him the photo, telling him not to go outside.
Imagine looking out your kitchen window to see this. A 10-foot, 2-inch alligator nestled under your Robolini. The homeowner, who opted not to be on camera, provided this amazing home video of the capture.
Good.
The process endured about 45 minutes, enough time to wear down the strength of the gator so it could be safely put in its cage. One neighbor first called 911, which is why the police responded on the scene. When facing a nuisance gator, calling the police is not something you should do. What should be the first thing that someone does when they come across a nuisance alligator?
Well, just give it a chance, watch him a couple days, and decide if the gator's not going to leave the area. And then if it doesn't, you can call the state hotline and make a complaint. Their phone number is 866-392-4286.
Residents are used to seeing alligators on a daily basis, but the sheer size of this animal and the fact that it was in the front yard has them concerned.
We have little children and we were concerned that the alligator was going to attack them and maybe, harm them or even eat them.
What does a 10-foot alligator eat in a residential area?
Anything he wants to. Normally, an alligator eats anything that's available to him in the pond, but, at night they also eat mammals that have come to the pond to feed or drink.
What is going to happen to this animal now that it's been caught?
This alligator will be processed. It's like, raising a cow, take him to a butcher shop. They process the meat and sell it to various restaurants in the area, Skipper's, Dockside, Gary's Oyster Bar, just various restaurants around.
Seeing is believing. I managed to try and see if our new friend was really at Skipper's Smokehouse, and sure enough, he was on the menu. I had to try it and remind myself that it's not bad at the top of the food chain. In Tampa, Tom Strokio, Hawk TV News.
Turns out Tom's alligator story got more than 79,000 hits on YouTube. The broadcast student reporters video and interviews were featured not only on local TV, but on Good Morning America and Inside Edition. Not bad for our HCC student. And that wraps up this edition of Hawk TV News. To watch more stories from the Hawk TV News team, check out our YouTube channel.